Why do you think the Camino changes people, you know?
For me, I think, if I reflect on it from the outside,
Yeah.
if I see people follow it's almost like the Camino is a common heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's own heart is beating at a different frequency, but it brings people together, right?
Good afternoon. Welcome to Italy. I'm taking a break after all the trips, but I'm here to make a special video for you. Today I'm not going to show you a landscape, I'm not going to talk to you about the history of some place, but I'm actually going to talk to you about the history of something. We are going to celebrate a very, very important milestone for this channel, 100 subscribers. I can't believe I reached this. Just started a few months ago and it felt a little bit all over the place, to be honest. I didn't really know exactly how it would evolve. In this month, this channel, this adventure and the idea of the slow travel inspired me really a lot. It's given me a lot of ideas, a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration for doing even more trips, and has helped me also be a better version of myself. To celebrate this beautiful moment, I have something special for you. So I will tell you the history of how it all started. And to tell you the history of how it all started, I want to involve the two people that inspired it. Two of my best friends, Djoeri and Raul, who I interviewed when we were back in Mallorca. They will share with you the history, the behind the scenes of the Vloggerino, so enjoy it. We'll see each other at the end of the video. Good afternoon. So here's your favorite Vloggerino in a different place. We're in Mallorca, as you saw from the last few videos. Today I want to introduce you to some special people. One of them you already met in the previous interview, that's Raul, you know, and the other is Djoeri here. And they're special because they are the people who inspired, you know, the Vloggerino channel in a way. So I'm telling you a little bit of a backstory. But as you know, I've been doing a lot of Caminos, and actually now I completed my 8th Camino. And in the last few Caminos, I started, you know, like documenting a little bit of the Camino time. And what I was doing was just like, you know, sharing some videos in the WhatsApp group that we guys have, right? And you guys were like very excited, you know, like, hey, share a little bit of like this, you know, like just a small recording in WhatsApp. And I didn't have any tool, just my phone. And you really liked it, you know? And with your appreciation and your enthusiasm, the idea of like doing a little bit of more serious vlogging started to emerge in a way. And you even started suggesting me, you know, you should call yourself the Vloggerino. You know, we had all these jokes about these memes that we made with ourselves, and well, it's thanks to your motivation that and your inspiration that I started, you know, with documenting more properly the Camino, especially this last one. Not only documenting, but you know, calling this whole universe of my Caminos the Vloggerino, life on the Camino, and sharing it with you. So first of all, thank you guys for this, because without you I wouldn't have found this inspiration, that it's something, a seed that you planted, and with your nice words and thoughts you helped this, you know, grow into like what's becoming a passion now. And day by day we talk a lot about it and say, oh, now I want to get these other gadgets and I should do this other video. And therefore today is a video with them to say, first of all, thanks to them, and also to ask them a couple of Camino reflections. But before we get to the Camino reflections, I would like to maybe ask first Djoeri and then also Raul, because maybe some other people have not seen the interview, just to quickly introduce yourself, right, to the camera.
Okay. I've met Davide years and years ago when we worked together. He was in my team, and since then we've always stayed in close touch. So that's how I got to know Davide. My name is Djoeri. Even for Dutch people, a very strange and foreign name. But yeah, I'm a Dutch guy living in Amsterdam for years and years, but I have a special connection to Spain as well. I've lived here for a few years as well, and that's also what brought us here. So yeah.
Thank you, Djoeri. And Raul?
Yeah. we also work together.
Actually, yeah, we all were. We didn't say that in the interview, but it was all work that brought us together, the same company.
Spanish, living in Amsterdam for a few years now. And I met Davide almost 10 years ago. So that brought us really close, I guess.
Yeah.
Already that time, and I don't come often to Spain, but here we are in Mallorca, enjoying some stillness and some good company.
And let me add one thing, Raul, because I forgot to mention this in the interview, but would you imagine that is the Camino that brought us together? Because when you joined the job, everybody received like a small email with a couple of lines where you would introduce yourself, and you said you were from León. And at that time was 2018, 2017, I had only one Camino on my back. Then I walked 7 more Caminos, but that one Camino was the Francés, and I remember León very well. Like I remember that day, that stage. So I immediately wanted to talk with this guy. León, the Camino. I immediately made the connection.
I remember my description somehow like putting like León, part of the Camino. Usually it's what people kind of remember. They think it's Lyon.
Wait, what?
León.
So that's what brought us together indeed, the Camino.
Indeed. Going to the reflections, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Let's have like first maybe a funny question. It'll depend on your answer, but I think it's going to be fun. And I would like to ask you, what's your favorite moment of you watching one of my Vloggerino videos? What's the one that you remember the most?
Yeah, for me it was, I think I have a few highlights in my head, and the highlights usually evolve around you telling a deep story about a certain aspect of the Camino, right? Which maybe goes unnoticed, and subsequently you elaborate and you tell these local legends and myths and you elaborate on them. And I think that those are, that's what makes the Vloggerino, right? But if you talk to me about what I remember the most is the development you went through for yourself and how you pushed through yourself in certain moments, right? And for me, one thing that stood out was you on the Camino in the snow, pushing through, and I think you surprising yourself eventually about what setback means and what you can do with those setbacks. And of course, that makes me reflect on how I know you, having been, of course, as well in the past, your manager, thinking along with you how you evolve as a person. And I think that for me is a moment that clicked. The only way. That's how what I remember the most as a singular point of view. That I think it was really cool to look back on.
Yeah, thanks, Djoeri. I can barely see myself. I fucking made it. I made it through the fucking pain cave. Raul, do you also have something that you want to share from the Vloggerino videos?
Yeah, no, I agree. That pain cave.
That pain cave
is the highlight of so far your YouTube story, I guess. But also I think these little historical descriptions. I think they are. I think what bring a lot of singularity to your channel, I guess. And I think that can really help people to understand the background of what they are seeing. No, that there is always.
There is. Thanks.
And then there's a richer world out there, right? So you can walk past a certain landmark or whatever and not know the story, and it doesn't inspire, it doesn't make you think. And if you bring that alive, it makes the world come alive and richer.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It gives color to this world, and then people can understand more the depth. So thank you guys for your answers. I have one more question, and that is related again to the Camino. And in this case, Raul has walked Caminos. Djoeri, you haven't walked Caminos, but you know very well Spain. You know very much. Also what is the Camino, thanks to the stories that they share and all the things that you know. So I would like to ask, according to you, why do you think the Camino changes people?
For me, I think if I reflect on it from the outside,
Yeah.
if I see people follow it's almost like the Camino is a common heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's own heart is beating at a different frequency, but it brings people together. And the key thing here is it's this lifeline, and of course it's through the landscape of Spain, but in the end it's also everybody's own journey.
Yeah.
And so they have their overlap, but also their own Camino to do, and that's what makes, I think, the Camino a strong reference point. If I see you guys talk about the Camino jointly, you're talking about the same thing, you're reflecting on these funny stories and these landmarks that you've seen, but also I see you both reflect on your own Camino at the same time and making it your own journey for you alone. And that's, I think, what makes people like the Camino as much, but also see this as a transformative thing that they undergo, and then they come out the other end having learned something unique about other people, but also about themselves. I think that's really what makes the Camino so unique for all this time that it's been in people's lives.
That's a good way, very good way of putting it. Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
The Camino, you know about the Camino.
Yeah.
No, I know only about the Camino through you guys.
Nice.
Right, so I'm giving you the mirror of how you reflect on it.
In a way, yes.
But that's how I see it based on your stories and what I know of Spain and beyond. Right.
I remember the phrase of this pilgrim that really stuck with me, because I remember my first Camino starting to have these expectations, no, of like, oh, I'm gonna find the meaning of my life, no, and the reason of why am I living, no?
Yeah.
And I found this guy and discussing that, and obviously I had my frustrations. I didn't know if I would end up the Camino, if I had to abandon and this and that. And this guy, this German guy, he said, the Camino just brings you what you need, not what you wanted. And I think that's really resonates with a lot of people. Finishing the Camino, you realize, no, that you have something different that is different than what you came for.
Yeah, and that was the thing that actually helped you change, you know, that, because sometimes you got something that you were not expecting, but that thing did work on you and did make that change.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so
really,
true.
really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Like that.
thank you guys for your time, for
problem.
answering
Our
these
pleasure.
questions, for watching my videos and supporting me. And I think that's all from Mallorca. So, buen camino.
Buen Camino.
I hope you enjoyed this beautiful video. I hope you found the words of Djoeri and Raul inspiring, and with their words you know a little bit more about what is Vloggerino. Once again, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching my videos. Let's continue the journey together. Thank you so much.